I left my backpack in a strip club and
Yeah, they left it alone because there was no coke in there. They would have rifled through that thing. Hey, everybody, I'm Kevin McLaughlin, and this is the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast. I am Paul Sexy Robertson.
Yes, he is. That's why he's been able to stay married for so long.
That's right.
And that's not sarcasm.
You do it right.
So,
episode 53. So we're now into the...
This is part 2 of episode 52.
Okay,
really.
yes, that's true, yes. So I guess we
This
have
is the second half of our anniversary episode.
It's part 50 do.
Yes, part 50 do. There we go.
Right, there we go. French. Oui, oui. So, yeah, so if you watched the last episode there, we were reminiscing about what the last year has been all about, videos, clips we played. We talked about some of the guests we've had on, things that we've done, things that we've remembered. I mean, it all started back as we talked about a conversation from Vegas to sitting in this room here to going to Memphis, having great guests on, talking a lot of local musicians, promoting their stuff. I mean, again, the show has evolved, and that's, I think, is something about all. I guess let me ask you this then, Kevin, is as a musician, even, you know, musicians evolve as well too in some of their style and type of music they perform or where they are, right? So, I mean, I know
the creation process is constantly evolving.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been doing a lot of Southern rock and blues, and as it evolve, you may be doing some big band swing kind of music maybe in the future as you evolve.
You never know.
You never know. So I mean, this is what the podcast is. Again, we've talked about in the last episode. We've sat on this couch here and we started off the episode here, first couple of episodes, and then we realized we looked terrible sitting down on the couch.
Right. So we put a table in front of us, and we can look more professional.
That's right, and hide our awesome dad bods.
Yeah, that's it.
Something like that.
Well, we were sitting back on the couch with our knees spread apart.
That's right, yeah.
And it wasn't cool.
Yeah, so a little too gratuitous, I guess, if you want to call it there. But again, thanks for listening to this podcast here, the audio podcast and YouTube and all those things. If you're listening to this on the B3 Podcast Network, there are three different shows now running now on the B3. You've got Drums and Rums, Rhythms and Rhythms, and Jams and Cocktails. And again, we're going to grow this thing again. We're looking to kind of expand even further. The whole thing about this whole ecosystem we've talked about in the past about this concept of B3. Kevin keeps wanting to expand it to B4 because there's another B he wants to add into the podcast name, which I won't say unless he does.
Well, the 3 B's are
bands, brands, and booze.
Booze. Okay.
I almost went there.
You almost did it.
I almost went there. I think y'all know what I meant to go
That's kind of like when they asked the drummer of a Spinal Tap, what are the 3, what's more important, sex, drugs, or rock and roll? And he's like, well, I suppose if you do enough drugs, you can't have sex or play rock and roll. So drugs.
And then he spontaneously combusted.
And then they did that interview. Actually, he was in the bathtub underwater, so just to save them.
Was that Mick Shrimpton? How well do you know that show?
Not enough to be able to name the drummers. They kept exploding.
That's right. Yeah, that should be like a thing. As on a slow night at a bar or a club. We should host like a Spinal Tap night and just do a watch party.
Yeah, just explode the drummer. That's what we need.
Thank you. And look who's the drummer. Of course, he's easy to he knows. I pick up on these.
Sponsored by the new kindler, gentler Irish Republican Army.
Jesus. Wow. And you were giving me a hard time about making some Irish reference about last episode about Father Flanagan and his whiskey.
Well, if you're going to get somebody to blow stuff up, they know how to do it.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Big ups to JC. Yeah, all right. So anyway, let's talk about the Catholics and the Protestants, and let's get back to our recap.
We are recapping the second half of the first year of the 2024, the year of more. Actually, we started in 2023. To be fair, didn't we?
That's true.
Because it's still 2024 now, so by default, we would have had to start in 2023.
Right. So yeah, so we talked about last episode, 2020.
In 2023, it was all about me, and 2024 is the year of more, and so 2025, it's gonna be
He's still working on
also
what-
about me. That rhymes totally. We're trying to come up with a slogan that rhymes with 25. So maybe you can comment. What is 25 going to be the year of?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. If you have the winning comment, that we will put on a shirt and you'll get a free shirt. How about that?
There you go.
2025 and Kevin's still alive.
Well, yeah.
Again, I had this. The problem here, as me as a drummer, the drummer in this show here, I'm having to not only deal with the ego of a lead singer and a lead guitar player all rolled into one here. So talk about, I'm barely surprised he can get his head through the door, let alone his junk.
That's why I had to shave it because it wouldn't fit anymore. You can grease it up and pop it through the jam.
He used to have an awesome afro back in the 70s. So I stumbled across some photos of somebody tagged you in something the other day on Facebook, and I said, "Oh, look at Kevin when he was younger. There, look."
I had purdy hair when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I really did. I liked it.
He liked it. I like how your past tense.
I did. I liked it.
He had some hair and he liked it.
Yeah, I had some hair and I liked it.
So speaking of Katy Perry reference, you kind of dropped a little bit of some hints about another song you were.
I have done a thing.
Will you do it again?
Oops, I might do it again.
Okay, all right there. So I'm really interested in here. So I guess I'm going to be like all
So
of you.
there's got to be some suspense. If anyone was watching last time and they heard me make the references, you know the artist. We're not going to say who it is.
I can't wait to the music video where you're rolling around with a snake on your body.
I'm going to be wearing a see-through sparkly outfit and singing on an airplane.
That will definitely be viral, okay? Just for the wrong reasons.
No, that would no. No, that's not going to be okay.
Maybe only one person, and that person's probably in the room who'd want to see that, but it is not.
Yeah,
me.
it's about
not me.
Yeah. It's about the fantasy of joining the Mile High Club with Britney Spears.
That's right.
Anyway,
Well, you and her did share a little bit of something. Didn't she shave
I
her
worked
head?
did she shave her head? I worked with Britney Spears once.
Well, did she shave her? Well, when she went crazy, she shaved her whole head.
Did she really? I know that happened to me, actually. I went with the look. I stayed with it. That's exactly how it happened. It was a Pink Floyd moment. And I
You watched the wall, and you were doing acid, and
I never went back. Anyway, we don't have to talk about my personal trauma anymore, do we? Well, I worked for her once. She put on a big concert, and I was part of the crew, and she was a good performer.
This apparently, folks, is a recurring theme here. Kevin has done sound for a lot of people. So, and if you listen to the last few episodes here, it's always whether there's Fresh Catch. Jose talked about doing music for Fresh Catch, or Jake, or some of a lot of the other shows that are coming up here. So yeah, but yeah, Bryce. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bryce.
Did
That was a good
sound
one.
for
Yeah.
Bryce in back in
Yeah, behind.
the show was late because we were waiting for Edison to connect the first wire to the stage.
Jeez, how long ago was that? You're hanging out with Tesla, not the band.
Yes. Yeah, but I remember back in the day when you lived near Nikola Tesla, you could just put a stake in the ground and get all the power you wanted.
That's right.
All those entrepreneurialism.
Humbuckers and coils.
Took it away.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway,
So here we are, part 2 of our 1 year anniversary celebration here. So I guess we're going to just call this episode 52.2.
52.0.
Okay.
52.2.0.
Something like that. All right. So we'll figure
Whatever they call it.
Yeah. Usually I got to be the one to figure out the title.
52 2.0.
Sure.
Whatever. 52 and a half. 52 part 2.
Yep. So where we left off last episode was we got about to halfway through the year. We did a little recap of some clips that we had posted on social media. We kind of a little reminiscence in there. But so now that we're looking at the second part of that time period, or what are again some of the things that you recall, some of the guests that we've had on. And again, we've had some great guests. We've had some. We've had Freya on. Again, we had reviewed.
Freya was there. Yeah.
We reviewed your song while you're on the hot seat, right?
I know. That was crazy. It was embarrassing because we were watching my lyrics video and I realized I hadn't put any lyrics on it.
because he doesn't remember the lyrics when he performs
That's
it.
right. I should have done it. I could have remembered them. But yeah, I mean, we've had a ton of great guests. Like we saw some footage from Lefty, and
Yep.
we've had who look we had Billy T and Chris Macri on.
That's right. Yeah.
We had Fonda Cash on. We had
So the story about Chris Macri was he was talking about when he was at a concert to see Ace Frehley or something. Somebody thought he was Ace Frehley. And
yeah.
that's just,
we're gonna probably watch a short. About
yeah,
that.
we'll probably. I think there is one there. Too.
Yeah, people buy him drinks because they think he looks like Ace Frehley, which he does not. But when you've been drinking already,
Yeah.
from far in the dark, absolutely.
In a dark club.
Yeah, I mean, just so many great guests. We had Dean Lopes on, who was the first person to actually show up with a resume, which was actually quite impressive.
That's right. They're setting the bar. Our guests are setting the bar every time.
Yeah, we have actually had a drummer or two on. We had Bryce Allen's drummer.
Mm-hmm. Right. Chase joined Bryce in the episode there. We've had
Dean being a drummer, yeah.
We had Renee Rivera, Andrew Moore's band.
Right, Renee
Yeah,
was
so,
on.
yeah.
We even had a guitar tech. We got the premier guitar tech in town. We got Brian.
Brian, yeah.
Bubbles up.
That was amazing. Just him talking about Brian and growing up with, around the Van Sant family. That's some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
is some of that. So again, Florida stuff. Again, like we started this podcast out, like we talked the last episode, and we weren't quite sure. We had an idea. We had some things, we had hell, you remember one of the segments we used to do was Kevin's catfishing adventures.
We did Kevin's catfishing adventures. Yep, there was a time when I was entertaining conversations with, I don't know what, spies from Asia or AI chatbots, or I don't know, have no idea what they are. Well, they could have been real people. I don't know. But it was an interesting experiment because they were definitely fishing for information. They wanted to know what my habits were, what I bought. I even bought and sold a little cryptocurrency on the advice of one of these people and made money.
All right, so you win some, you lose some.
So, I have no idea what was going on, but it was an interesting experiment to find out, the language of scamming and what all that was.
It was definitely an interesting period, and again, we talked about it a couple episodes ago that we have scalpers, and that was something that we stumbled across on our page, and because we were selling tickets to the Riffs and Rhythms Music Festival coming up November 23rd, and somebody was reaching out and they were trying to resell tickets, and I think it was the week
that they hadn't bought.
Or at least it was the weekend I think it was when we still had like some reduced pricing around it. It was like,
it was on day one, midway through day one of ticket
I can't
sales.
go to this festival. Then you just bought these tickets. And it was like, again, they don't know who they're, interacting with. And it was one of those like.
Which, by the way, a very cool thing about ticket sales for the Riffs and Rhythms Festival is the initial allocation of day one discount tickets was gone in a few, like 3 hours.
Yeah.
We had to
crushed it.
allocate a ton more tickets to get, because of all the people that wanted the day one discount.
Right.
And so now tickets are $26 online.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use the promo code, my promo code you can use is KMB, but every single band has a promo code. And the band, so what happens is when you use a promo code to buy a ticket for the Riffs and Rhythms Festival, you get $1 off, and then that dollar goes to the band that you use. So we've got like Mike Farrow has got M4O, Bryce Allen Band has BAB, Lefty Hathaway Band has LHB, Brad Brock has JNC.
Red Calling was Red.
Red Calling has RCB.
Yeah. So.
And who do we leave out? We've got
Dean and
Dean Machine has got
Jason Montero.
Jason Montero's got JM3.
Yep. Right.
And Dean Machine has got I don't know, DMB, I think.
Yep. Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah. So show support for the band that you're there. Oh, we've got AMOV, which they got the only four-letter AMOV.
Yep.
Is their promo code.
This is going to be a really cool fest. And again, just recently,
it's a contest. Which band can sell the most tickets? Stand by for next week's episode when we find out who has sold the most tickets. Because guess what? There is a prize.
Yep.
The band that gets the most promo code usage actually wins a $250 gift certificate from our sponsor is Raincat Recording.
A former guest, right?
A
Jeff.
former guest, Jeff and Brian.
Yeah.
And $250 is not enough to get an album done, but you could certainly get
Something.
do what I just did, was get a world-class picture session. You know, you can get all your promo pics redone. You can go and there's a ton of stuff you can do for $150 there. It's worth doing. And so that's going to go to the band who has the most promo code usage for ticket sales.
You know why I like that so much? Because Jeff and Brian just didn't throw money as a sponsor. You know, they are. I know they're providing something back to the community. You know what I mean? It isn't just, hey, here's $250, guys. Go and put our logo on a banner or something, and then the end of day, they are, again, trying to encourage, right?
Yeah, beautify the world with your art through Raincat.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really cool. Thank you, Jeff and Brian. Again, it's great that you guys.
And speaking of sponsors, we've got the sponsors are lining up. Of course, we've got the proposed title sponsor, Knox and Dunn Rum.
Right. Yep.
We drank some of that at the beginning of the episode. It's pretty darn good.
Yep.
We've got Seventh Sky Ventures. What do they do?
Yeah, so they are an importer, exporter, distributor, different things. They're based in Tampa. They are also part of the Tampa Bay Rum Society as well. That's part of a carryover from the Drums and Rums family of the podcast there. They've been guests on the podcast. We've done some stuff with Isabella is the owner of the company. She wants to do more stuff to tie into more of these things. So, again, it's all about kind of connecting all these dots there. So, thank you, Isabella, there for sponsoring and being part of this festival as well.
Absolutely. They got the standard sponsorship, which is a good spot to be in. We've got Freya Neal, who is a riff maker sponsor. And Freya is an expert in permanent makeup.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Also, we've got Brad Brock as a sponsor. He's
what? That is breaking news. Brad is a sponsor?
Brad is a sponsor. He's providing graphics.
Okay, there you go. This is some great stuff, right?
Yep. We've got, of course, the Riff and Rhythms podcast.
Of course, us.
Yes, that's us. Budget Graphics in Port St. Lucie is doing the graphics for they're taking what Brad made up and they're putting it in print form for us.
Perfect.
Budget Graphics is great. Daniel over there is an absolute genius with a print machine. I used them exclusively for many years, and I'm really glad to have them on board. Raincat Recording, as we've already mentioned. We've got Gulfstream Landscaping and Nelson Construction with some pretty hefty contributions to the festival. We're very grateful for their activity. And there are a large number of sponsors that are currently in negotiation. And we're going to have a ton of great sponsorship.
Right. So, and also KMB Star Promotions?
KMB Star Productions. Yeah, we changed the name to KMB Star Productions.
Missed the memo.
Because apparently we are, that company actually produces things. Instead of just promoting them.
So, so this is a really cool thing again, folks.
And of course, the B3 Podcast Network.
That's right.
Is a sponsor as well.
That's right. So we're looking forward to a lot of it. Again, it's going to be a perfect time of the year, the weekend before Thanksgiving, before Christmas. So if you're a vendor, if you're listening, watching this, great opportunity to get out there.
A week before Black Friday.
That's right. Yeah,
White Friday.
Yeah, put all your
right.
Sure.
No, it's a Saturday, so none of that applies. Yeah. Sorry.
White Saturday. Okay, sure.
White Saturday.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure where we're going with this here. So anyway, again,
it's going to be Vendor Saturday.
There you go. There, that's right. Yeah, we fixed it in post. Yeah, but if I forgot, then I apologize.
Vendor Saturday. Yeah. Why is that a big deal? Like you say, black, the opposite is white. That's the first thing I think of. Why do you got to do that? On a Rorschach test, if they showed me something black, I would say, show me something white.
It's so weird about why.
Why do you have to politicize that? You're a drummer.
I didn't politicize that.
I've been watching too much NPR or something.
No, listen. I watch NPR to feel smart. Okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. We just lost the negotiation with NPR for sponsorship.
There you go. There. So much. So I'm sorry that our podcast will not be part of the Tiny Desks music series.
Yeah, right. No, we're gonna
We just fucked that up.
We're gonna have the tiny stage concert.
That's right. Yeah, you're performing on the tiny. Yeah, literally the tiny stage, like most bands do. Say, here's your stage right there. It's the size of this laptop.
Also worthy of mention is Thunderhouse Sound.
Yes,
is a sponsor in the form of providing us services. We are going to have a continent class sound and lighting and backline.
So is world bigger than continent?
Yes.
Okay.
Continent class. These guys have only done sound within this continent, so they are top class on the continent. And they're going to be providing us with a state-of-the-art sound and lighting system.
We've got some photography also too. It's going to be involved. So again, this is really cool about a lot of the stuff. People coming together. They want to be, they're people that are reaching out to us. They want to be part of this. Who want to be part. Again, our Drums and Rums episode podcast guest, Chris America from Red Calling. He's offered up because he's the North America operations for a cymbal company. He's the operational manager on. So he's offered up to bring a bunch of cymbals for all the bands, all the drummers.
That's awesome.
Hey, if we want to. So what's just totally cool is everyone's coming together. Again, we're trying to build something, and we're really trying to promote and, different bands. We have great different styles of music, whether it's, heavy metal bands, Red Calling, they've got a great following there. Jess, leads that band, AMOV, another great, again, these are bands, again, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back and we do the second anniversary episode and we look back and we're like, bands that were part of our podcast, bands that were part of our festival, they've blown up, right? They're big time, and they're on some of these bands are on their way
already. Yeah,
I mean, Mike Farrow, he's just announced that he's on round 3 or just finished the auditions for American Idol, so he's waiting to hear if he's going to be on the show.
Yeah,
I'm like, that is.
Say hi to Simon for us, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's going to be really cool.
He's the one on American Idol, right?
I don't know. I can't keep track.
They change it all the
I can't
time.
keep track. Yeah, but yeah, he was part of it. Right? Him and Paul Abdul and Randy Jackson. That's probably
was a long time
20
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
Now it's like I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
Blake
but
Shelton.
Yeah, I mean,
Pink and
everybody who's been part of. Again, those are some things we've had people hit us up and say, "Hey, I want to be part of this music festival." You know what? Get involved with the podcast. Either get on that couch. Send us your song.
Okay, Bernie, you want to be involved? Get on the couch.
That's right. Yeah, you got to be part of this, man. You got to have some skin in there. Again, we're not going to do it all for you, right? And we got a lot of folks that are asking about that. And like a couple episodes ago, we did some music review for Shy Blossoms.
Shy Blossom, great band.
Yeah, from Brevard, right?
Well, I thought they were from Brevard. I think they might be from the Tampa area. I don't know.
Okay. So
apparently they get around Florida a lot. It's hard to tell where they're from.
So they get around is what you're saying.
As a band, they play in a lot of different places.
So yeah. So again, we love to continue this whole concept with whether it's at the Opera House, whether it's at the music festival, these events. To trying to draw Florida music, hopefully, maybe Shy Blossom, Andrew Morris, Jake Walden, all these other, part of this community. Again, we want to grow together, guys. I think that's a big part of it. We want everybody to come together, get on the bus with us. We want to work together.
What I know is that if we work together, when the tide comes in, all the ships rise. So, original artists in all areas who play cover music in bars. It's a precarious spot to be in because you play all cover music. People are expecting to hear music that they want to hear. If you're in a bar, you're at a concert venue. It's hard to get a job there because you play in bars, and you in a concert venue, and some of your stuff is covers. Then that doesn't work. So it's a very precarious and difficult segment of the entertainment population to be in. And you kind of exclude yourself from both when you're straddling that line. And dealing with that myself, Look, I know the struggle. So, in the course of making things easier for myself, I get to make things easier for everybody in my position. But we're going to keep it exclusive to Florida for now until we can grow past the state lines.
Yeah, no, for sure. So there, I'm there, like I said, there's a lot of bands that were original music that we didn't get a chance to get on this festival. So again, it'd be great if we can do one next year or even one in the spring. Again, if you want to support, and especially this, for everybody, you got to be part of this.
Yeah,
We're willing to go ahead and go out there and help kind of move it along, but we can't do it alone, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing you want to remember is whatever your favorite band is, they were in this spot at one point. So let's normalize supporting our local acts in the same way that we support the national acts who have no idea who you are.
Yep.
Like, why not support an emerging music scene that you can be a heavyweight in, as opposed to being nobody in a giant music scene? Why not do
For
that?
sure.
It's better for everybody.
Yeah. You got to keep the supply chain going, right? You got to keep new music keep coming along and so forth, exposure and so looking forward to November 23rd. There, 9 bands,
Yes.
different styles of music, and it's just going to be great.
So perhaps with the magic of editing, right here we can see a flash of the actual poster for the show on this set on screen right here.
Sure, I'll remember to do that later.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not, but if not, just go to Riffs and Rhythms, Riffs, the letter N, rhythms.com, and you'll see everything there's to need to know there.
We've actually got some good traffic there. So I know you've been doing a little bit of work on the website and, through optimization and things like that. We've got a lot of good traffic checking out the site. Again, we've only put that site together probably in the last month or so.
Yeah, there's a ton of people checking out the website.
Yeah.
There's lots of ticket sales going on, as we mentioned last week. The original, or maybe we just mentioned it just now, the original allocation of tickets on day one was expired, and they got used up in the hours. We had to allocate a whole bunch more. I mean,
we were getting phone calls from people saying, "Hey, I've got people telling me I can't put my code in. The tickets are sold out." Like, what?
Stuff is flying off of the shelf.
Yeah.
So it's going to be huge. You got to be there. Yeah. And we are going to have a blast incorporating this podcast live in between the bands. It's going to be, and the location that we've got, the Hope Sound Farmers Market, is scenic. I just told somebody the other day, like, if Disney World was going to create a farmers market, that's what it would look like.
Right? Yeah.
So it's going to be great.
I may actually ask. Maybe have somebody sub in for me to do the podcast live. I just want to hang out.
My favorite thing is to find out where you can actually buy the farmers, because I've been to a bunch of farmers markets, and I've never found the farmer aisle. I want to buy a farmer at the farmers market.
Oh,
she wants a rancher.
Oh,
There you go. See that?
Yeah. Get rid of what's that? What's that?
But it's not a rancher market. It's a farmer market.
It said. Off camera here, we have Tracy here. Says she wants to save a horse and ride a cowboy.
She wants to buy a rancher at the farmer's market. She's at the wrong store. No cowboys. No, not the. You don't want the cowboy. You want the rancher.
Only ranchers.com.
Yeah,
do you want a ranch hand?
No, you want the landowner. Not the serf.
Oh, okay. Oh, you want you want the sugar daddy, the sugar rancher.
Yeah, not the guy who sleeps on his horse saddle next to the fire out in the open.
Oh,
the guy who owns the farm.
Oh, he's already. You already have the rough and gruff guy who's gonna sleep in a We do have to actually speaking about rough and gruff. And now we're going to get to a little bit of more recapping about some of our TikTok videos we have here. We're going to skip this week's episode here on any music review, but we will come back next week. We do have some music lined up that we're going to review. These 2 episodes are about us. But yes, you've got some shows coming up here in Daytona Beach. Let's talk about
Oh yes,
that, my
I
brother.
do. All right, so
So
this is going to be fun on for Biketoberfest in Daytona. I typically perform 3 days of the rally, and this year I'm performing on the Thursday of Bike Week. I think it's the 17th, 17, 18, 19 of October. We're going to be at Dale's Ales on the 17th, and then at the 18th, we're going to be on the inside stage at the Cabbage Patch.
oh boy.
And then
We've heard some Cabbage Patch stories on this
the
show
19th, I'm going to be playing right next to the Cabbage Patch Wrestling in the gazebo stage.
Are you going to be asking the girls?
What did I say? The Cabbage Wrestling. There's a Cabbage Patch, and they have coleslaw wrestling there. That's what I meant to say.
Are you going to be asking the girls to work their shakers and cocktails?
Yeah, so on the
There
inside
actually
stage.
might be a clip we're going to watch here shortly about Kevin explaining about how he got kicked out of his own
That
gig.
was the only show of my own I got kicked out of. You were there, weren't you? No, you weren't. You weren't there.
Oh.
That was yeah. I got kicked out of my own show because the female bar workers felt unsafe with me in the room.
He had a Me Too movement.
Okay, whatever that
Yeah,
means.
we're gonna watch that clip here shortly about how we portrayed that episode there. And talk
You mean the
about that.
Pound Me Too movement?
Hey, well, whatever works for her.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, you got Biketoberfest coming up here. So you got your Opera Fest.
Yeah, we got the Opera House
the
show
Opera Fest,
coming up.
yeah.
If you're within 100 miles of Arcadia, Florida, you got to be there.
So when's Wait, say it again. So when is Biketoberfest?
October 17th, 18th, and 19th. 1
Man.
week after this.
You're gonna be rolling right into it, man.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, the following weekend. Yeah,
Yeah, October. Lots of Octoberness.
So you're going to be all about the pumpkin spice.
I'm gonna be embodying the Rocktober.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
So, all right. So, do we want to watch a couple clips here?
absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and let's see what we've been up to here. So we're going to move our Knox and Dunn bottle here. So here we're going to try to pick up here a couple things here.
Music and machines.
Yeah, so music and machines. And so this was a clip from when we had Jeff and Brian on, and we were talking about AI. And again, it's funny to kind of always take a look at certain things and then look back, right? You're like, oh wow, shit, we did talk about these things. And this was about companies selling their music to big conglomerates, and where is AI going to take over and to create new music? Right. I see stuff all the time here. Oh, we're having a good fucking time? I think we're having a good fucking time.
I'm about to
tonight.
drink some good fucking bourbon.
Yeah. And we were talking about how companies are buying music. Hall & Oates were selling. Everyone's selling their catalogs, and say, what does that mean, right? And this is something here we talk
Taking
with.
their retirement early.
Yeah. So they're cashing in, but what does that mean for the music industry? So this AI stuff. So let's. Here's the episode here with.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that was a clip. These are some of these clips from when I actually had more time to
Yeah, that was great.
Hey, look! I know that guy. This was for your beer 30.
Yeah, that was the Beer 30 release
That's
party.
right. Yeah, that was some good beer. I really enjoyed that beer 30 blend that they made, man. So
Yeah, so that's a thing. Like, how often do you play a concert that you're releasing a single called Beer 30, and the brewery you're playing at simultaneously releases a beer called Beer 30?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
you got some pull, man. You're like a big deal. A big deal.
I'm a big dill.
All right, here we go. Yeah, okay. Somebody's got a boner here. So again, that was Renee from the Andrew Morris band talking about. I'm not quite sure what he was talking about, but
I think that was like the first rehearsal with the new bass player.
oh, that's right. Yeah, they were excited at how he stepped right in and boom, and he did what he needed to do. And then now we're gonna watch an episode from Renee talking about his, his abuela, right, and chickens.
She was scaring him with the chicken feet.
Yeah, he had a thing about chickens, and the irony was, if you see on the laptop, there is the Andrew Morris band, has a bird in their
Yeah, the
logo.
chicken is literally their logo.
That's right. Yeah. So we were kind of then questioning with Renee's kind of screeching and so forth, was who did it better, him or Homer? So
That's a tie.
I don't know.
I mean,
man.
that's same pitch and everything. Like, how
He
did
could be
do
Homer.
that?
He could be Homer Simpson.
He's clearly a huge Homer Simpson
That's right.
fan.
That's right. Yeah.
Do that again, because that was the same exact pitch. How did he do that? Good job, Renee.
So Renee is Homer Simpson, aka
Renee Homer.
Simpson.
No, what's Renee's last name again?
Rivera.
Yeah, Renee quotation Homer.
That's
Rivera.
right. Oh, so speaking of Renee Rivera, we had JJ Rivera recently.
Oh,
and
unrelated. Are they related? Or?
No, they're not.
Well,
you
ultimately,
say
we're all related, but
That's Renee's Rivera's. But then JJ Jose talked about there was another Jose Rivera too.
right.
Remember we said that they need to have a band and just call it JJ squared.
They should just call it Rivera.
Oh, well, yeah, you got a drummer.
Because we got a drummer named
That's
Rivera.
right.
We got a
This could be
guitar
the
player named
Rivera cubed.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
Just call it Rivera.
Times 3. Oh, well, the next clip here. Oh, look at that standing.
another
Look at. Oh, Double Roads. You remember playing Double Roads?
Yep, I sure do.
Double Roads is back. Is actually back open now too. So they kind of do a little bit of resituating, and so they're back open there. So
Yeah, that was the blues sitting night. Me and Stevie. We got to have Stevie on as a guest. He works right down the street.
oh, this is
Do you know he works on this street?
oh, dude, he works the street. That's weird. Yeah.
Thomas Aton, we got to get him on here too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure, man. There was a lot of great musicians here. So we had, I think that might have been a night, actually, Kevin, I actually helped live streaming the Brad show.
That was the night.
Yeah.
No. That
you
was
were
the
in
night
band.
that I played. That
That's
was
right,
when
yeah.
I got a call like at Tuesday at 4:00 to play
From Vince? Was that Vince?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like he just put a shout out on
Who could fill in?
Facebook.
Okay.
Like, we need a band.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do it. And then we got there and we're playing, and we realized it was supposed to be country line dance night. And there was a couple there that were, sitting there. They looked totally out of place. Like this 20-something couple, both like the guy and the girl were just insanely attractive. And I'm
Dozy
like,
partner.
why are they
Dozy
here?
do.
Like they don't belong here. And so finally, the entourage with them, one of them came up and said, these kids are waiting for the country line dancing music. It's country line dancing night, and you're not playing anything that they can dance to. And I looked over and I was like, oh, we'll think of something.
Rawhide.
And we I don't know what we played, but they country line danced to it, and then they finally, I think we played 3 country tunes, and they line danced. It was awesome. Well, maybe I can find that couple and we can have them
Next time.
compose
So,
a
yeah,
dance.
so
Maybe
hey-
I think Beer 30 was one of the songs that
Hey, random couple, come on back and check out their.
Yeah, we want Random Couple to come back and
Yeah. So check out the Kevin McLaughlin.
take the credit for inventing the Beer 30 dance.
the line dancing and Zumba night here at Double Roads. All right, here we go.
boxes full.
The boxes. Kevin's got a boner right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know this person.
Freya, yeah. One of the primary sponsors of the event. She
That's
is.
right. That's And then we were talking about there coming up here. This next clip here is with Billy and Chris from Back in Business. There, we were talking about Billy and I were in a band together, Sonic Sun, and so this was an episode from an original music festival. We were performing at Main Street in Daytona Beach, so it was a great event. And our lead guitar player Vaughn Jackson did some crazy stuff. So here's Vaughn walking around with a wireless setup here, finds this random chair sitting out there. There was nothing that Vaughn wouldn't slide with. And here he's sliding with a fold-up chair slide.
Was that at Main Street Station?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I recognize it.
Yeah. So Vaughn was a badass.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
I mean, and we've talked with him about obviously his history and how he grew up and so forth there. And then here is the story we talked a little bit about. I think the last episode was with Billy and Chris, and how Chris Macri was getting free drinks all night because somebody thought he was Ace Frehley. He's running Ace's merch tent.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were talking about Billy.
I was hanging out with Billy today.
Yeah, episode 36. So again, I think right there, that clip was, really signifies what our show is about, right? It is
Absolutely.
it is a I don't want to say a guy hang, but it
is a guy hang. We mess with each other the whole time.
But I mean, again, if we have to not discriminate or to leave out other folks, it's a band hang, right? It's a musician hang, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're hanging out here on the couch and you're hanging out with us, this is exactly what it's like. Is at the end of band practice, rehearsal, whatever you want to call it, is you're hanging out. There's a lot of camaraderie, and we've talked a lot about this. Is a musician camaraderie. We're hanging out. We're having a few drinks. We're talking music, talking shit about each other, and it's about musician camaraderie. It's about community, and so things like that. That little clip there is Billy and Chris. They're giving their own little give.
That's so crazy because I was over at Billy's house today.
Oh, really?
And we went over and had some lunch, and guess who was sitting in the lunch restaurant?
Was it Chris?
Chris Macri. So I had lunch with Chris and Billy today. It was awesome.
So again, we're all part of this community together. So I'm not quite sure here.
Why is Taylor Swift on our?
Why is Taylor Swift? Hey, because
we got to see it.
No, because we need the clicks, man. So yeah, so when is Taylor Swift going to dump Travis Kelsey? Right. That's
Yeah, well, they're probably going to come to an agreement and say, "Listen, it's nothing personal. It's going to be a publicity stunt. I'm going to can you're going to can me, and then I'm going to make $1 million on selling songs about it, and then we'll get back together."
we actually quite a few clips from that episode where they were with Billy and Chris here. So here's our review of.
Now this is about musical
There
history.
you go. There you go. No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh no,
This is your first. This might have been the first.
this was the first one. Yeah,
That's right.
the Treasure Coast Blues Society's biannual.
Yeah. When we get La Chavo on this show?
No,
At least
we
in
definitely need to have Michael.
Yeah.
Every other month they do a blues jam. This was the first one.
So Kevin's showing why the riffs are better. Blue on black.
It's the riffs, not the singing.
Oh, and then we went to the Sammy Hagar concert. Remember that?
I sure do.
That was. There's a lot of fogginess about that night.
Oh, that night was awesome.
So we had a ticket giveaway, right? So sponsored by the Knox and Dunn there to those guys there. We had a great.
That was a great show.
Oh, Loverboy opened up.
I work with Loverboy. I hate to say, why? I used to never admit this stuff. Why am I even thinking about this anymore? I've never worked with anybody. I don't know anybody. I've never seen anybody.
So maybe we should call this podcast like
know anyone.
Confessional because apparently
Well, at the time, actually, it was in Sanford, Florida. First time I worked with him, and the singer was not at the best of health. He wasn't taking very good care of himself. And the most notable thing about their show was I was doing monitors for this show, and the road manager set up an ashtray like this big around, like a big cigar ashtray. And during the verse of every song, he would put 6 cigarettes in there, spaced out, and lit them. And so, like, the singer would sing, and then during the guitar solo, he would pick up all 6 cigarettes and just, like, power puff them down to, right straight down to the filter, and then go back out and sing. And I even think I was concerned for the guy. And when we went to the Sammy show, he had lost all that weight. He was still alive, which I didn't expect. And he's
125, still alive.
Doing great. I'm really excited. And he was singing like he did in the 80s. It was great.
Oh yeah. So I think we caught towards a little bit of the end of. I actually got challenged. We did a little tailgate in there that show, right? We had a little Knox and Dunn thing there. We had our winners there that won the prize pack and giveaway, and there was a couple of the folks hanging around where we were tailgating, and they were like, "Oh, so name the songs that you know about Loverboy," and it was like obviously there was a couple songs, and there was one that I was totally drawn a blank on, but I'm like, yeah, Loverboy's got some as the name kind of doesn't kind of pan it, it's like. They've got some good songs, right? It's a good rock.
A lot of good songs.
I mean, everybody's
working for the weekend.
I mean, that's a great song. You need to cover that, man. That's
I should pick some songs from.
Yeah, that's right, man.
It's a good band.
Everybody's working for the weekend is because these guys are all working for the weekend, right? So we're working on the weekend.
Loving every minute of it. Loving every minute.
But there was another song that the crowd that was around where we were at they threw them in, and now I'm drawing a blank on what it was, but there was another song that was another big Loverboy song other than those two.
You want a piece of my heart, you better start from the start.
I was like,
you want to be in the show, come on, baby, let's go.
That's right. There's some great songs. Yeah. See, there you go. He was getting into it. So, and I think that was also the show where Kevin was talking about the.
That was back in the '80s when I still had brain cells to remember stuff. Turn Me Loose is the one. That was the one song. That was the one song that every band in the '80s wanted to be able to play, but couldn't because of the one high note near the end.
Turn Me Loose.
That was a great song.
So that was also the night where we had a great night. Well, there's other things that we put on Patreon a little story about that.
That's the one. Remind me.
That
Turn
show.
Me Loose.
So we put a little bit some stuff on Patreon. It was about the post concert stuff that we all had a little involvement with post show, right?
The post-show
Tracy
show.
remembers.
Absolutely.
Tracy remembers. Yeah,
We
so-
went to a nice family steakhouse. And
That's
had
right. The Quincy's,
dinner. Quincy's.
Cracker Barrel.
Marcia's.
Well, I don't remember Cracker Barrel having strippers.
Yeah,
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Woo.
Yeah, it's with the candy fountain.
That's right. Yeah. So we definitely we had a great super great time that night there. Yeah, and Tammy had his own beer too and so forth. But yeah. So anyway, so here's the next one. Here is
Back to the clips. Back to the
yeah. Oh, here's the this is the title of this episode. This clip here is called "Ever Hear of the McLaughlin Pedal?" Have you ever heard of the McLaughlin Pedal? He doesn't watch any social media, so he has no idea
I've
what
seen
I'm
this
showing.
clip.
Okay. Wow. Well, the guest bazinging you, zinging you,
Yeah,
man.
Jason's totally awesome.
Hey, thank you. Kevin will be at the Comedy Corner this weekend. So here we're a little preparation for the Sammy event here, actually, here. It worked out. I'm really sad. I'm not sure I have those sunglasses anymore. I think that's why I buy cheap sunglasses. But look at that shirt. He's got Rum DMC.
That's cool. The rum. It was pretty hot, but I got there.
Oh.
Oh, here's the show.
There you go. It's a good crowd for a. Is that a
Yeah.
July night there, man?
They're in Japan now.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was it? Real quick, interesting point is so Sammy has Jason Bonham performing with his band, right? And something happened recently.
Jason broke a nail, and they had to
Yes.
have Kenny Aronoff
Yes.
replace him, who is like an awesome drummer.
So he had talk about short notice, right? Kenny is the guy.
So
if-
who does Kenny Aronoff play with? You're the drummer. Tell
everybody,
everybody.
everybody.
But where did he get it? Like where's he been with for a long time? Who's he famous with?
So he was. I'll put me on the spot now. Was it? What'd you say, Cher? John? I can't. What?
Trying to give you a clue.
I can't hear one. Speak up.
He is.
Go ahead. Tell me, Kevin.
I believe he played for many years with John Mellencamp.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that though.
I think so. I could be mistaken.
Okay. So yeah.
Kenny Aronoff.
Real time fact checking.
I think that's who it is. And the famous intro of ROCK in the USA with the sticks dropping on the ground. That was Kenny. Then,
Okay.
And they went with that take.
I did not know that.
He went to hit his floor tom, and he dropped the sticks, and he picked up another one, and he just kept going.
That's a classic song. ROCK in the USA, man. So here we go. So again, more stuff here about these. Yeah. Oh, well, there we are. Well, couples.
Well,
There's our little tailgate event going on there. A couple guys there.
Rock on.
Our winner there. So Yeah, so definitely this is one of those. Sammy Hagar is definitely a
Play
is-
with John Cougar Menselcramp for 2 decades.
Okay. Did he fight the law and the law always win?
Yeah, that's why he got fired.
Oh, perfect. He's got a better lawyers. Um,
Also played for John Fogerty. Who else has Kenny Aronoff? played
another
with?
John.
The Bodines.
He also played with Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, he's a good. He's the
Yeah,
go-to
B.B. King.
guy.
Yeah,
He's a go-to guy. You know,
Kenny Aronoff, a monster in the drum world.
I see that you guys have a very similar, style.
Me and Kenny?
Yes.
No.
No.
What?
What?
I'm lost. I don't know what we're talking about.
You're not even a drummer.
Yeah, but doesn't mean I can't recognize talented drummers. Why do you think I give him such a hard time?
Is he just similar?
What? What are you looking for? Oh, that's why.
I
Now-
love the fact that Tracy was laughing before we got to the punchline.
I guess I just like bald drummers. That's the deal.
Yeah, they're hot.
Me and Kenny, we put our heads together, we could make a real ass out of ourselves.
All right, so here we are. So what do we got? The next clips here. Oh, this is. Oh, that was a good episode. Remember, we were a lot of marching. That episode was a whole lot of people in this room that we don't normally have.
Yes, we had.
We were
Yeah,
standing
we had,
room,
like,
standing room only in this. This
Wives and
motherfucker.
girlfriends and spectators.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, this is here. 4th of July. Was that a 4th of July one?
Ooh, Uncle Kevin wants you. Yeah. Well, that reminds me. I put my hat in the ring for the presidential election not long ago.
Oh, so are you saying
Yeah.
I can vote for you?
Yeah, you got to write me in though.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to search through the picture, but I made myself a campaign picture a while back, and
Well, who's your running mate with you?
I
I
haven't
should-
get
I should-
nominated before I
It
pick a
should be
running.
me, right? This is the ticket. That's what we should propose.
yep,
is
yep.
It's all about the riffs.
The riffs and rhythms ticket.
That's right. Yeah. This is our This is our political affiliation. We're
Yep,
the riffs and rhythms.
That's our
ticket.
platform.
Right.
You must like the riffs better.
That's right.
That's our platform.
Well, usually
gotcha.
the VP doesn't do really a whole lot of anything really anyway.
That's right. You only get anything if I die. So
And in 25 he's gonna say
Hey, listen.
in 25 we're going to be president alive.
I was gonna go somewhere and I stopped myself because it was probably not super appropriate. So anyway, so a couple,
When was appropriateness?
well, I was gonna say
On the list.
as long as you don't go golf again. If you watch this podcast episode, we are actually in Palm Beach County. There's so much craziness going on in this place. Our the president, former president, current president, running president lives in this county as well. So I was just gonna say, in a very bad taste was as long as you don't go golfing
Well, see the
too
danger.
soon.
The danger is if you go to one of those fringe golf courses in the morning after a bacon breakfast, the wild boars will hunt you down for.
I'm going to tell you
revenge.
is what I'm really disappointed in is all the news media outlets talking about that golf course. The location of it did not reference the strip club across the street. I'm really disappointed in that.
Wait, what? Are we talking about the misallocation of public lands that was proposed in Florida?
No. This is a historic site. Actually, this is a historic site. There.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so right there by the golf course, the jail, right there, and then by the airport, and right across the street on the road there is T's Lounge. You ever hear T's Lounge?
I have been there. Yes.
Okay, I didn't ask you to out yourself. I just asked you if you
What?
know about it.
It's a place where you can go buy stuff. I did that.
Okay, yeah. So
I bought the drinks.
What would be better, the view or the drinks?
Oh, that's a tough question. Probably the view, actually. 'Cause the drinks were, I don't even remember the taste of the drinks, but I can picture a couple of the girls that were in there.
Anyway, so yeah, before I incriminate Kevin any further here, so yeah, so anyway.
What? It was my bachelor party. We went to strip clubs. We
Oh.
went to all the strip clubs.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
What else would you do?
yeah, of course. That's right.
Bachelor party.
Was that in the last, was that, yeah.
That was more
Well,
than
no,
a few decades ago.
No, speaking of that was, did we start, no, it was before we started podcasting we hadn't started podcasting yet when Brad would.
That is
got-
correct,
that's right,
or
so
else we
were-
would have set up a remote in there.
Oh,
I
for
tell you
sure.
that.
That's right. Brad's Brad's bachelor party podcast episode from
An undisclosed
Disclosed.
location
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So
called Monroe's. Anyway.
Oh my God. So
Anyway,
yeah,
it was a fun party. It was great.
it was. Look at this here, Day Out of Time Festival. Here, remember that one
Yep.
there?
This is me sitting in with Lefty's band.
Yeah.
Lefty Hathaway, a guest on the podcast.
I think I might have taken this video straight out of when I got out of the toilet here. So walking up to the stage.
Oh, I'm so glad we know that.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to give. I want to set the scene.
Who will be playing at the festival?
That's right. Yeah, Lefty will be at the festival as well.
He will. He'll be playing. He's actually the last band. The headliner of the Riffs and Rhythms podcast is the Lefty Hathaway band.
Because it takes 9 hours to get that B3, the Hammond, that piano up. Right?
It's going to be cool because I don't think Pete's been awake that late in decades.
Oh, here we go. Oh, we're at the festival here.
I like that high quality cinematography you got.
At least I have half you in the video.
You got my good side.
On the left side?
It's a little bit more than we probably need to here. So again, we talked about here was with Bryce. I love in this episode here. They started kind of debating their own music. And I think we ended up saying it was the rhythm actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And just real quick was what was really cool is when we did the review of that song with Dean. Dean being a drummer,
Yeah, yeah.
Dean picked up on a certain thing in the start of the song, which was really cool, right? The certain style, the drums, the hi hats, and so forth. So it was actually pretty cool. So
Here they are with the
Yeah,
release of it.
yep. Yeah, they had a great crowd that night there. So So upcoming performers at the Rhythm Fest, right? So
Yeah, they'll be there in the afternoon.
that's right. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So a lot of stuff. Sunday. Yeah. I got a lot of shit about the
I
AI.
love this commercial. Wait. It's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. We'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Those are some of the things that come up with in my mind. Was like, again, my problem is I always have these ideas. Like it's like, oh, that's a great idea. I don't need to do it now. I never can think further enough ahead.
That was a great commercial. I love that.
So
We'll sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
I don't.
Where did you steal that from?
No, that was actually the clip from like one of those Sunday. That was actually the whole clip.
Where? Well, like, what was that? Like WCF or
No, it was like
is that a Gordon Soley thing or like what? Where is that from?
no, it was a NHRA.
Oh, NHRA.
Yeah, Sunday.
Okay. Oh,
No, growing up in New Jersey was all about like Englishtown was one of the places they did NHRA drag racing, right? So again, growing up, I always remember it was always played everywhere over the radio or whatever. It was like Sunday, check out Don, and actually it might be that
Don Daddy Garlitz.
Yes, I think that actually
Don
might be the
Garlitz.
clip was like Shirley Muldowney will take on
Yeah. They got the Don Garlitz Drag Racing Museum.
I know in Ocala,
Florida,
yeah. So OG, man. So down, so it was some of those things. I'm like, for some reason, because we were dropping tickets that beginning of September, and it was like it was coming on a Sunday, and how do we promote it? And I'm like, Sunday. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I remember here.
Everybody says something, but I couldn't remember where it came from.
Yeah.
It was NHRA.
Yeah, it was NHRA drag racing there. So that was what that whole clip was. So I try to be a little bit great. Geez, 18 likes on this one. I'm not sure what the hell this one was about. Beep. Now, that's not me. That's Instagram. Burb.
That was the Dean episode. Like, what is the fucking burr bubble? I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's not natural.
Oh, here it is. The history.
Musical history got made this night. This is Paul and I sharing the stage.
I noticed your gestures weren't necessary for me.
The bass player had never heard this song before.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I was
Oh, yeah.
teaching him how to
Yeah.
play the song while
Yeah.
we were playing it.
Yeah. This is a great song. Band of Heathens.
Band of Heathens. This
Yeah.
is a great song.
Yeah.
I like the glass top on this. This is
Yeah.
classy.
I won't click away. I'll let you hear a little bit of Kevin's solo there. Is that a Bubble Ups guitar shirt you're wearing there?
Yes, it is.
Oh, product placement.
It's
Nice.
supporting the bubble ups.
Yeah. Oh, and here, most recently I was hanging out there. We do a little promo.
It's a left click.
I'm trying. So again, we need to have the little things on the show.
We do need to have little
Yes.
things. They're a great duo.
Yeah. So they were asking about how do we get part of this music festival. I'm like, well, you need to get on the
You
podcast.
can't.
So you guys need to come on the podcast. There, review your song, come on the couch, hang out with us. That's how you got to get it.
That's it.
Yeah. So
Gotta
we
go
wanna,
through proper channels like everybody else.
so,
Just because you sound that good doesn't mean you get to shortcut everything.
that's right. Yeah. So I was down there at the Palm Beach Gardens Farmers Market when we were doing a little bit of promo for upcoming our stuff there. So I wanted to kind of, when I saw that Sunday, I was like, oh, cool. The girl, Katie and Shanice are going to be at the the Palm Beach Gardens Farmers Market. I'm like, super cool that they're going to be there right there. So, yeah. And Shanice actually was a Drums and Rums guest actually as well, too.
Yeah, she's a drummer.
Yep, that's right.
Good
yeah,
one.
Yeah. So she was telling me about a little venture they're going to have down to Key West for, I guess, Fantasy Fest. They're performing at Victoria. So,
Fantasy Fest?
well, yeah, they're going down there to do
So
the band
cool.
thing. So if you remind me, maybe
We got to go to Fantasy Fest and see the little things featuring Victoria Lee dressed up with paint. That would be fun.
So, remind me after we're done taping is I got offered by Papas Pilars, the distiller of the Papas Pilar, that they apparently have like an apartment that they have. And he talked to me when I was down there for the Key West Rum Festival was, hey, maybe you can come down there and use the apartment because I'm sure that's probably going to be booked Fantasy Fest. But hey,
Fantasy Fest is hours of family fun.
yeah, I know, right? So I know. So
Family
anyway,
making
long
fun.
story short. All right, so I'm going to bring some. So we're talking about the Key West Rum Fest fair because that was something I was involved with. We talked about in the previous podcast here
I did have to skip out on that.
but they have renewed for 2025. They are on point. They have the dates already set for 2025.
You got to give them to me before I book them out.
No, that's why I'm trying to figure out is I'm thinking about like how does Drums and Rums and all of our stuff tie into all these things? How do I do a Drums and Rums pop up or event or something? Jesse Rice has committed for 2 shows already. Now, what's cool about this fest coming up?
We went to Trailer with a generator, and we just drive up and down Duval Street playing live.
We can do that. That's not like I don't have a truck to do that with, right?
That's what we'll do.
Well, done. Perfect. So yes, we'll talk more about that. I want to nail that down because if we can do that,
We'll wear some Sherwin-Williams, and that's it.
so all right. Now here, check this out. Right?
It's Fantasy Fest.
No. I'm jumping ahead to like August, the Rum Fest.
Oh, Rum Fest. Oh,
Yeah,
I was planning next October.
he's again excited to play guitar in his banana hammock. Right? So
I want to show off my Sherwin
Sherry Williams.
Williams.
Wow.
I'm going to spray paint a better body onto mine. That's what we're going to do.
Did I tell you the story about I left my backpack in a strip club did I tell you that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they left it alone because there was no Coke in there. They would have rifled through that thing. But they did, and they left it alone because there was no
there's nothing there. For
no
me.
Coke in there at all.
Nothing worth a while. So, but yeah, so the Key West Rum Festival is coming up in August next year. Part of the first part of
So we're talking about Key West in August.
That's right.
Okay, I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
So we
it's
won't need
next
any
year.
paint.
unless you want to.
No, I don't want to jump the gun.
All right.
I'll be the only one.
But here, check this out. You got a passport?
Well, somewhere, yes.
All right. So
You don't need a passport to go to Key West anymore.
hold on. Let me get there, bro. Okay.
Ugh.
Okay. But one of the things that they're setting up is also in a trip to Cuba.
It don't matter if you have a passport to go to Cuba. You can't get there from the United States.
You can. Yes, you can. We'll talk more about it
I think
anyway.
that's against code.
No.
No, they changed it.
Hey, listen, I'm the code enforcer, okay?
The
Just listen.
Flask Force.
Yeah, that's right.
I like it. Flask Force
That's right.
code enforcement.
So, all right. Anyway,
I need you in my neighborhood. The code enforcer I've got is less likable than you are.
so, so real quick here, we're gonna jump ahead here. So, all right. So MVP. Yeah, big shout out to MVP. Yeah. Oh,
I'll give a shit.
yeah. So we don't get to give it away because we
What-
want you, we
what-
want you to go watch the whole video on over on YouTube.
Wait a minute.
What?
Did you cut that off right in the middle of
Exactly. Because I don't want to tell you give you the whole secret. Go watch the episode.
JJ wasn't able to give his.
So little next clip there is a little bit about Seventh Sky, or one of our.
It's a left click.
I'm trying here. There's a big fucking pad here.
But it's the left side where the left click goes.
Well, you go ahead and you stick your finger in it.
I thought you'd never offer.
He's excited. Looking for a new proctologist, actually. So how do you like that? That's a little bit of some of the AI stuff here with the clips and so forth. Our scalpers, that's right. I love the fact that this clip shows me drinking like everything on the table. This is great. Here we go. You like the new graphics?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's right. Yeah. So that was J.J. Rivera they were talking about. And then lastly here, the last little clip here,
Most recent clip.
we're going to talk about our Riffs and Rhythms playlist. On
We have
Spotify.
that.
Yes.
We have that. We have all of the bands that we have featured on the Riffs and Rhythms playlist. Did we include TTB because they blocked us?
Who?
The Tedeschi Trucks band,
Well, yeah. Well, on YouTube we did. They get. Well, I think at the moment we're still good, but on the Spotify on our playlist they're good.
Spotify playlist.
they're-
We have
they're-
included all the bands that we have featured on here.
With the exception of, and we need to get him on the podcast. We need to schedule this. Is, oh my God, why the? Because I'm been drinking. Is Michael Lubeck?
Mike Lubeck has not been a guest.
No, he is not. So we did do his song. We did review his song a while back. Probably was not too far along
Really?
after. Yeah, Mike.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
Because remember, we were hanging out that one night at Brad's, Jams and Cocktails show. We were hanging out there. You, me, Brad, and Farrow were all hanging out there doing the Irish night. Remember that?
Yeah.
And so I think after that, we had, we did a review of Lubeck's song. And so I most recently went. He was playing here locally, for, where I'm at, and I stopped and saw him perform, and we hung out. And dude, that guy's a jukebox of music.
Really?
People come up there. There was a girl who was like probably in her mid to late 20s, and asked Mike to play an Alice in Chains songs. So that's a band from the 90s. And they came up there and she wanted to hear a song. I'm like, you weren't even born yet. And
Probably Plush.
yeah. And he even did was crazy, did Queensryche. He did Queens.
He did not sing.
He did Silent Lucidity.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. So, so he had a good song, and some of his, again, being a solo, he had a different kind of setup where, like, it sounded like there was a little bit of a keyboard, kind of airy, kind of, like for that song, but anyway, so Mike's all excited, again, we hung out there. He was appreciating, again, this is what we're all about, right? So whether he has an off night from gigging or if I'm available or whatever, we try to at least go out there and support our fellow musicians.
Yes.
Show support. We've talked about this a lot on the podcast where when you see somebody who's another musician who shows up at your show, as long as they're not like this, arms crossed, they're there to support you, because it means a lot when another musician shows up to your show.
No, but the best is like always,
Right.
It's always another guitar player, and they show up and they stand in the back. But if during the course of the show they go like this, then that's the best compliment you can get from another guitar player. It's cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So we need to get Lou back on the show here talking about his stories, because he seems like he's got some stories to tell. So
I don't know Mike very well,
Yeah.
but it sounds like I should.
yeah, no, he's done a little bit of touring here and there, opening up for different bands. He was talking about it was a great little night, the opportunity for him and I and his significant other, my wife, exactly. We got a chance to come out, and again, it was like here locally, like, let's go down last Friday. Let's go hang out. Let's see Mike perform. We hung out and again did a little chatting, did a little Photoshop, and took a little couple pictures, hang out, and and he lives up in Vero too, so he's a little bit of a drive to come down that far. So, but he's like,
So you took pictures of you and Lubeck, and then you photoshopped them? Is that what you said?
yes, exactly, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Nice.
yeah,
Probably a good idea. Isn't it?
yeah. I improved. I airbrushed myself out. So.
Rock on.
Rock on.
Good job.
So anyway, I think hopefully this episode here is we've covered everything about the last year about this podcast now, right?
Well, a good portion of it, we've given some highlights, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So perhaps in the comments you can put in after you've seen every episode, you can let us know what parts you like and what part you don't, so that we can make sure next year is way better. We'll do more of what you like and less of what you don't like.
Right.
Or we could completely disregard what you want and do whatever the fuck we want, because that's how we are. You never know, but it's worth making the suggestion anyway.
That's all we're asking for is, what do you think is better? What do you think, what do you want more from us, right?
Hey, what do you want to see in the Riffs and Rhythms podcast?
Right. So here we're at season number, so I guess now we're going to be entering season number 3.
Oh, well, technically, yeah. How many episodes are in a season? Like 8?
It could be whatever. Actually, in this podcast space, it could be whatever you want it to be. Actually, right? So, like Brad doesn't.
We're not subjected to the rules of television.
Nope. So, but we are technically in season
mainstream
We are
podcastery.
season number 2, but this is episode number 52A and B, or whatever we call it now.
This is the second part of our anniversary 52 episode.
So when we start like episode number 53, I guess.
Yeah, and the first year of episodes will be valuable because Leo Fender owned the first year and he sold it to CBS, and all the pre-CBS episodes will be far better sounding than the new ones.
So there you go.
If you're a guitar player, you'll understand the humorous reference there.
So after this is we'll be I guess season number 3. I think we're been calling it, at least on the audio podcast, right? That's how
Yeah,
we
I've
kinda-
got no idea. You handle all those
Yeah.
details. I
Yeah.
just sit here and take the money.
Take the money and run.
Here's a story about.
Billy Joe and Bobby Sue.
No, I was going to say,
Kevin and Polly Joe.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Two young podcasters with nothing better to do than sit around the studio and get high on
tunes.
putting up YouTube. And here's what happened when they decided to cut loose.
Go on and take a podcast and run.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah. So thanks again, Kevin, here as we wrap up here. Got a lot going on. I'm really excited about it. I get, over the last few months, getting the opportunity to perform a little bit, kind of sit in with you or sit in with Mike Farrow most recently, again, trying to get the itch is kind of starting to come back for me.
Well, Paul, you are clearly establishing your becoming a part of the scene, an important and influential part of the scene. So that's very good in the rum world and in the music world. So good job.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So, all right. So, as we wrap up here, our season first year anniversary, if you want to call it, right?
Yes, this is, our anniversary. We've been here for a year. 1 year? Did you say one?
Right, yeah.
1. Yeah, so watch the next year, please.
Right, for sure. So
again, subscribe, ring the bell, do all those thingies that you're supposed to do.
Yep. Yeah. Come on, join on with us here. Through us, we're hopefully help to expose you to more music, more Florida music, the stories about the bands behind it. I think if these bands can connect, tell their stories, you're going to be digging who they are, what they're about, and again, and not just at this level, but as a personal level, as the people who sit on that couch. So.
Did you say what? You said that they sit on the couch.
They can lay down too if they want.
No, that rum concoction has made you say sit a little bit weird.
Shit.
Yeah, we don't want that. That's a pure white couch.
Well, it's still white at the moment, so.
Technically it's a brown couch, but it was Bernie's couch, so now it's crusty white.
Yeah, brown chicken, brown couch. Anyway, so this is the Riff Rhythm podcast here. Check out our past episodes here on Apple, Spotify, etc. Go and check us out on YouTube here. We are here. We're here for the community. We're all about the music. We have a lot of things going on, so please check those things out. Again, if you're all about supporting local, this is what our show is all about. So let's wrap it up, Mr. McLaughlin.
Okay. So, hey, I am the Kevin McLaughlin, and I am the co-host of the Riffs and
Rhythms podcast. I'm Paul Robertson. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you've been having a great time learning more about our other stuff. And here we go.
Well, if I'm going to...
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll wait.
All right. So, yes, 1 year of podcasting, and Paul is getting all emotional about it. And he should, because Paul's put a lot of work into it. And this is what we get from Paul's work. It's a good thing.
And this is a good fucking podcast.